also
Yes.
sent by the CMS, Church Missionary Society of England.
Yeah.
When Rebmann came here, they established this mission station center officially by building the three structures. That is the first church,
Yes.
which you say it is the first church in Eastern Central Africa.
Yes.
Well knowing that in our minds that there are churches that were built by the Portuguese, that is more than 100 years before the coming of the missionaries.
Yes.
But the churches that were built by the Portuguese,
Yes.
they were not built with the purpose of spreading Christianity.
Yes.
They were built to serve the Portuguese, and when the Portuguese were attacked by the Oman Arabs, the faith of Christianity died with them. But this is the first church in Eastern Central Africa because this is the church that was established with an aim of spreading Christianity in this region. And it became successful because from it we have so many altars
Yes.
that attract from the foundation of this church here. Right. Christianity also has made roots in East Africa, tracking its history from this place.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
When they introduced Christianity here, they also built their houses. We have
Yes.
Rebmann's house
Yes.
there.
That is.
This is Rebmann's house.
Yes.
We have Kraft's house, which you'll see it after this.
Yes.
It is here. It was a multi-story building.
Yes.
Then they embarked on the journeys of spreading Christianity in this region. In their journeys, they had a lot of challenges.
Before you go further,
Yes.
when was the church built?
This one,
Yes, the mission church.
the foundation of this church was laid in 1846.
1846. Okay.
Then it was accomplished in 1848.
1848. Okay.
Yeah, that's the time they opened this church.
That's 2 years later.
Yeah.
Okay.
The site has a history also of the introduction of modern education.
Yes.
When they were in the programs of spreading Christianity, they discovered that people here are not learned.
Yeah.
And they could not read the Bible. And
Yes.
because of that challenge, the missionaries decided to introduce modern education so that people can read and understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then that was the beginning of the introduction of modern education in Eastern Central Africa,
Yes.
where the first teaching session started in this church.
Yes.
Then a school was developed,
Yes.
which gave birth to Isaac Nyondo Primary School, being the first school in East and Central Africa.
This first school.
Yeah.
Okay.
East and Central Africa. It is called Isaac Nyondo Primary School.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, this is the first place where they introduced modern medicine.
Okay. Very interesting.
The modern medicine came with the missionaries. They were first used here.
Yeah.
But they were ineffective to cure tropical diseases. That made the community to mistrust the missionaries. Because they found when they came to seek for medical help to the missionaries,
Yes.
they ended up losing their lives.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we can also track abolishment of slave trade. As I've said, this place was heavily affected by slave trade.
Yes.
There were so many running away slaves who ran away from coconut plantations and maize plantations which belonged to Arabs who had hired land from the Michiganders. They found refuge here.
Yes.
They were hosted by the missionaries. And later in 1889, Kraft and Rebmann had left this place and already died in their lands. But the Church Society had continued the initiative of abolishment of slave trade, and they managed to abolish more than 1,000 freed slaves.
Yes.
When they to liberalize,
Yes.
more than 1,000 freed slaves.
Yes.
And when they had done that,
Yes.
they also signed a treaty with the Sultan of the Oman Arabs in 1873,
Yes.
which was helped by the reinforcement of British Royal Navy in the Indian Ocean, who could not allow movement of dhows which are transporting slaves to Arabic countries.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
In 1889, Church
Yes.
Society, after paying compensation to the slave masters who came to claim for their slaves, they gave slave freedom certificates to the freed slaves who were settled in here.
Yes.
Then when they were given the slave freedom certificates, they were settled on the land that was acquired by Dr. Kraft here in Rabai. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Rabai, we
Yes.
have people who the owners of this place say they are Nyasa
Okay. Nyasa from Malawi. Or
from Malawi.
Malawi, yeah.
Yeah, they have
Nyasa
the
land.
origins of Malawi
Yes.
genes.
Yeah.
So these are the descendants of freed slaves. They're still living in this area in Rabai.
Okay.
Some were settled in Freetown by the Church Society.
Okay.
So if you go to Freetown,
Freetown in Mombasa.
Yeah, Mombasa.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
there's that close connection between Rabai and Freetown
Yes.
because of the settlement of freed slaves
Yes.
done by the CMS
Yes.
in Freetown. Yeah. So also as we go around,
Yes.
we come to understand that Kraft and Rebmann made several journeys to the hinterlands of East Africa. Rebmann went to Tanzania in 1848.
Yes.
He was the first white man to see Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yes.
Then Kraft went to the side of Central Part of Kenya.
Yes.
He was the first white man to see Mount Kenya in
Mount Kenya.
1849.
Yes, 1849.
Kraft left here to Europe in 1853,
Yes.
having two converts
Yes.
or two followers who were Nyondo Jana and his Jana and his father Jana Abegonji.
Okay.
These people were preceded by they had been preceded by one man who was a dying cripple,
Yes.
who was the first person to be converted as a Christian. This was named Murenje.
Yes.
But the missionaries could not pronounce the name Murenje, they said Muringe.
Morenge.
So this was the first convert.
Okay.
Then he was followed by Nyondo Jana
Nyondo.
and his father Jana Abegonji.
Okay.
Also, when he was reporting to the CMS,
Yes.
he reported the geographical features,
Okay.
Mount Kenya and Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yes.
So the Royal Geographical Society did not believe the report of Dr. Kraft
Yes.
because they did not believe there is any snow mountain along the equator line.
Okay.
That made them to bring their explorer
Yes,
to explore
yeah.
this place, who was
Yes.
Edward Ehadit.
Yes.
Jacob Ehadit. Jacob Ehadit came up with a crude map of East Africa
Yes.
that made East Africa to be the site of the Western community, the Europeans.
Yes.
And the Western community came to East Africa
Yes.
as tourists looking at the two geographical features. But later they discovered rich land,
Yes.
which they captured and started growing crops like coffee, tea, etc.
Yes.
And eventually they captured the economic management of East Africa. Right?
Yes.
And put East Africa under their colony. Now we see Kenya,
Kenya, yes.
Tanzania,
Uganda,
Uganda
yes.
under the colonies of the British.
Yes.
That is how they came.
Yeah.
Right. We can also track the development of East Africa because when the missionaries settled here and went back home,
Yes.
the Church Missionary proceeded with their mission of spreading Christianity.
Yes.
They managed to liberate so many freed slaves. At one point, this church was small.
Yes.
They had a need to build a big church.
Yes.
The foundation of that second church here, which
Yes.
is St. Paul Church,
Yes.
was laid in 1885.
Okay.
It was accomplished in 1887.
Okay.
The contractors of that church
Yes.
were Indians. These are the same contractors who built the Mombasa-Nairobi highway.
Yes.
They're the same contractors who built the Mombasa-Uganda railway.
Ugandan, yes.
That opened
Really.
East Africa for trade.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
so we can also track the realignment or the order that we have today in the country, where we
Yes.
have the president and the EC top leadership.
Yes.
This type of leadership pictures the government of heaven,
Yes.
where we have God,
Yes.
the angels,
Yes.
and all people who are operating with God, which makes the existence of the godly government.
Yes.
And that is why today we have order, because
Yes.
that is the way God introduced order into our country, where we
Yes.
have a president, the ministers, and
Yes.
all the helpers, the governing
Of the government, yeah.
government, in the
Yeah.
government.
Yes.
And that is how order was derived from the church, where the pastors, the deacons, and the leadership of the church,
Yes.
they just look the same.
Yes. I have one question.
Yes.
A place where you said is very interesting is about the first school. You talked about the two converts.
Yeah.
Two converts. The man had that name. Is it relating to the name of the school, Isaac,
Yeah.
or?
Isaac Nyondo
Yes.
is the name given to the first school,
The first school somewhere there. Yeah.
where Isaac Nyondo happened to be the first African teacher.
Okay. Very interesting.
He's the source of attraction to Christianity to the local members of the community,
Yeah.
because he gained a lot of opportunities
Yes.
in his interaction with the missionaries,
Yes.
whereby we find Isaac Nyondo traveling to abroad the missionaries.
Yes.
He also married an ex-slave.
Yes.
The transformation of his life attracted many people to join Christianity in this area. And that's
Okay.
why when the school was formed,
Yes.
the local members of the community requested the name to be given to be derived from the name of Isaac Nyondo,
Yes.
so that they can maintain the legacy of that guy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, what about I'm seeing the Memorial School Secondary? What came about it? About the
Okay,
school?
later
Yes.
the government developed this secondary school, which
Yes.
started with with the interest of the local members of the community.
Yes.
And later it was given the name of Dr. Kraft,
Dr.
in
Kraft.
memory of Dr. Kraft,
Okay.
being the first place where modern education was first
Began.
introduced. And the person who introduced it
Yes.
is Kraft.
Kraft, yeah.
At least to maintain or to keep in mind
Yes.
that education did not just happen
Yes.
in Kenya,
Okay.
but there is somebody who started
Who
that
started.
initiative here.
Yeah.
And today,
Yes.
it's a success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greatly, it is indeed a success. Eh?
Yeah.
Actually, you also know that Dr. Kraft also translated the Bible from their language to English,
When
and that one propelled the spread of Christianity
Yeah.
throughout the East Africa.
Yeah,
That's
true.
very interesting. Yes.
Yeah, we can see that is
Yes.
part of challenge,
Yes.
because you see every challenge that Kraft faced,
Yes.
in his work to
Yes.
solve the challenge,
Yes.
it brought a benefit,
Yeah.
which today
Yes.
it's seen in the community.
Yes.
When he saw the challenge of illiteracy in this community,
Yes.
he introduced modern education.
Yeah.
Modern education has activated so many talents
Yes.
and gifts
Yes.
to the local community.
That's very good.
A
Yes.
modern education also has brought an insight
Yes.
to the minds of all people in the country.
Yes.
It has opened up our minds even the more.
Yes.
It has broken boundaries,
Yes.
which had made us not to move forward.
Yes.
Through breaking of the boundaries that we had created through tribalism,
Yes.
through traditional culture,
Yes.
today
Yes.
we have become so successful where we call ourselves civilized people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of the interaction with the different communities,
Yes.
with different cultures from
Yes.
different places, where we have gained so many benefits by the interaction that we have today.
Yes. So this is the memorial museum.
Yeah, it's a memorial museum of
Yes.
Dr. Kraft.
Yes. You can see there it's officially opened by Honorable Rashid Echeza when he was the cabinet secretary
Minister
for
of
sports and heritage. Yes. Yes. Welcome.
We are sorry because we are
The light.
power here.
Okay.
We have to open the windows.
Yes. You can open. Okay. To bring the light.